I think we're going. I think we're live, everyone. You might see the carpet right here because I have the camera positioned in a cat condo just because our Wi-Fi has not been working throughout the sanctuary. But I wanted to regroup with you all for a weekly wrap-up. I'm up in the team room, so you might see some of the Highlanders run around, but we'll see. So if you guys joined us earlier today, you know that we did an intake exam on new Bobcat, Meera. She is still in some surgery right now for that foot. So some of the things we found out about Meera today is, let's first start with the back leg. There's definitely been traumatic injury to Meera, which means this isn't something she was born with. Something happened to her. I don't know if we'll ever find out what happened to her. We don't know if she got herself caught in a fence, if she got bit by another animal, what happened. But first, it's on the first left foot is like, it's a crushing injury that caused deformity. And then her back left leg, there's soft tissue damage that has a bunch of old scar tissue. So I think the abrasion on her back leg, we think, is that scar tissue's been bothering her. So either she scraped it based on how she walks on that scar tissue or has been gnawing on it. We aren't sure. So what we did today is, after x-rays, Dr. Campbell went and looked at that back foot, cleaned the abrasion, and there isn't any bone issues in the back left leg, but it is old traumatic scar tissue, which is soft tissue. Unfortunately, you can't do anything to fix that since it wasn't fixed in the moment, but she's got a lot of muscle atrophy in the back left leg, which means she hasn't been using that leg appropriately for quite some time. And then you got the thickening, and that's when she walks, she's walking all the way down on that back leg. And I don't know, we're gonna try with some physical therapy and some operant conditioning if she can start extending and get some muscle mass back in that leg, but it's kind of retracted. She's got some good range of motion, but because of how sore it was and whatever happened for so long, she was walking so low on it. And we don't know how much range of motion she can get in the leg. We know when she's sedated, we can do the back leg like that, but it's just very, very atrophied. So her bigger concern, Meera, the Bobcat we're talking about, is the front paw. The front paw is pretty traumatic, pretty deformed. She had a couple digits missing, but deformed where she's walking, really barely walking on that. I would say she's toe touching, but because of that, she's caused restriction, and she's lost about 30 degrees of range of motion in that arm. We today removed at least one digit, I know, to see if we can get her walking a little bit more comfortable on the pad and not on a broken digit that's like this. It's going to take about 6 weeks to know if what we've done today is more comfortable and that she can use that front foot and start walking on the pad even though she's missing digits now. After about 6 weeks, if she's not using that and she's still holding it up and still has the restriction she has from not using it and holding it up so much, then an amputation might be the best way. But we'll know 6 weeks from now. I mean, the saddest thing is we have no idea how many years she's lived with this. Dr. Campbell did say that she's estimated 7 to 8 might be good based on her teeth. She could be a little older, but both the injuries are old injuries besides that superficial scrape. And so it's just sad that she's been living this painful for so long. So we figured we'll wait that amount to see what range of motion she gets back. She'll still be on comfort care. She'll be on pain management, most likely her entire life. Operant conditioning to try and get some mobility and strength back. And then at the 6-week mark, if we evaluate her and we're not seeing any progress, then she will get a leg amputation, which we're hoping won't happen. And then she'll get spayed at that time too. So everybody, just keep her in your thoughts. We'll keep you updated over the next few weeks on, her progress. Luckily, she's just social cat, so she's gonna really engage with operant conditioning and enrichment well, and even a physical therapy plan. So we're just happy that we can make her more and more comfortable. So if you're just joining us, besides that Bentley has just sat right in front of the camera, I wanted to give you an update on Meera the Bobcat as they're finishing up vet day with her. So also a couple other vet days. If you are Aiden, the Asian leopard cat sponsor parent, you should have or will receive shortly some photos of his vet exam. He just had a wellness exam over the last week, and he is a healthy boy. Oh. That's what happens when you play weekly wrap up with Highlanders here. Bentley just knocked over the iPad. So we're going to start vet days again because spring is coming. So wellness exams will get scheduled. Asian leopard cats, Onyx and Ozark are on the docket next week. We also have kind of a new rescue that we can't talk about yet that will be getting an exam next week. Some cases we're working on. And then we have some larger exams and moves planned. So one thing is we're looking at Beauty the Lynx, as you know, got sick with possible lepto last year. She's doing extremely well. We want to move her back to her old habitat in Cougar Cove. And so to do that, we're going to end up immobilizing and sedating her over the next week or two, because we want to redo blood work and see what those baseline levels are. Because for a while, we know she had low potassium. We know that kidneys and liver can be long-term affected by lepto. And so even though she's doing great, we are going to sedate her for that move so that we can do a full vet workup. She'll be on, Tao the Bobcat will be on one side, and Bella the Bobcat will be on another side. Sorry, Bentley's just playing with my paper and everything. And so we'll see how that does. They put a lot of mesh there on the walls to make sure that she doesn't reach through, because Bella the Bobcat loves to reach through, and Beauty can tend to be a stickler with neighbors. But part of that small cat crisis I was talking about earlier, we have taken what used to be large cat enclosures, like our cougar enclosures and our tiger enclosures, and when we're not getting those rescue calls, they've been able to accommodate our bobcats just lovely. We are one of the few sanctuaries that put small cats and even cougars in open top enclosures, and we've done that because it gives them much more space and they can still have trees. We've never had a breach of security, but we do evaluate each animal. So if we have a high risk animal, somebody that we might have a high flight risk, like unreleasable wildlife bobcats that are young, we're going to choose to put those in a roofed pen to be safe until we can evaluate them. But we love that our bobcats can have 7,000 square feet a piece, plus indoor rooms all to themselves. You know, a lot of times the small cats get the short end of the stick because they get put in smaller areas. And it's really nice to see that us and so many sanctuaries are looking at expanding and continue to expand the space for small cats. We also have another play date in Catio Town, so we're hoping for another merger. That will give us more space, and which we do think is the kittens that are here in the team room will probably move out to Catio Town for their safety. They are getting into cords, blinds, people's lunches. They're getting into anything you can think of, and we just don't want them to get into anything that can hurt themselves. And these are not just typical kittens. These are busybody kittens. We also know Bentley loves water because that's the Bengal in him, and with his huge paws, if I could see him playing with water, he empties water bowls all over the floor like crazy all the time, and it's so funny. It's just, he's just like scooping water out. So we think they'll do lovely. They're not going to go with the other Highland group out there. They're going to go on their own, or they might merge with maybe some other cats, but we just don't want 11 back together when we have some areas that have smaller groupings, and we could keep everybody in smaller groupings. It's been crazy with the weather here. We had spring, and then we got ice and snow, and the caretakers did that overnight shift that they always do, and then extra interns stayed overnight too in case the weather got bad, because we were supposed to get maybe anywhere from 8 to 12 inches of snow and ice. The snow isn't bad, but when you add ice onto it, it can really ruin habitats. And so all the cats were locked in with food motivation. They got locked in for 1 or 2 days. And if we have cats that are really high stress locked in, Dr. Campbell will actually will actually prescribe some behavioral modification meds like trazodone for the night because we don't want them too locked in. I see somebody's asking, is Lexi, their sponsor cat, in here? She is. I don't know where they're hiding right now because there's so many boxes and cubbies that are on the floor for these cats. Also, what we have is a volunteer coming next week. It's been kind of in the planning for a few months now of hopefully getting a whole ramp system and wall up. Originally, it was going to be for these cats, but our goal might be that new Bengals, Ferguson and Flynn from Sequest, are going to move into the office. And we don't know if they'll move downstairs and merge or if they'll come up here. But we know this whole crazy system that we're going to be putting in for the cats up here, wall ramps and wall cubes, is going to go to good use because there's always cats here in the team room. And so we want them to have vertical space as much as we can. So the other thing is I need to do a huge thank you call out to so many of our volunteers, donors, supporters. After my last live post last week where I broke down, sorry, it's been a rough couple months for not just me, but the entire staff. The outpour of support has been amazing, from beautiful flowers to heartwarming cards to donuts to lunch. You guys are just amazing, and our people here feel your warmth and your love, and it just means a lot to us to know that we have not just the support of each other, but we have the support of all of you. Quick update, my mom is out of the hospital and back in memory care. She is under hospice care right now, but we are so thrilled to have her back home where she's familiar, with her love of her life, Phil. And so thank you guys for all following my mom's journey with me. I said if I had time, I should have done kind of a video blog of this experience with her that has been so hard, but so many joyous moments too, because so many of you reached out and told me that you've gone through the same Alzheimer's struggle with a family member. And so, but we're just glad that she's home, and we don't know what her mobility will be after her broken hip, but we do know that she's much happier at home. And thank you for everybody who reached out. I know one of our employees who had a house fire, everybody's been wanting to help. So thank you for those that have reached out. We are doing things for her here at the sanctuary as well, and it's just lovely to have such a wonderful support system. We have some things coming up in the spring. I mean, spring's around the corner, and you know, our caretakers get a lot of credit because they work hard and they do that mission work. But I have to do a call out to Bobby and Jesse, our facilities folks. You should see the list I give them of all the things I want to do this year. And many times it affects the caretakers day to day, but this year it's going to be all about facilities. And this winter has been all about facilities. From the new Catio Town pavilions they've put in and all of the things they're doing in that, from the furniture assembly to the landscaping to the fire pit to the kitchenette, to all the repairs of heaters they've done, to securing Dash's new golf cart that you guys helped us get, to bringing in caves that I want, to estimating solar, to the 2 to 3 habitats we're doing this year, and having that, to AmeriCorps. They're going to be managing the AmeriCorps team and the projects they're doing. It's just endless. And then you don't even add on every maintenance thing that we have that breaks down that needs help. They have a list a mile long, and I'm just so grateful to have them as part of our team. And with that, they're even building grass boxes for Catio Town so that the cats can have some natural grass. We are excited and so happy that in May we have our Catio Town open house event, and that is for our founding members. The people that really gave us the matching gifts for Catio Town really were the initial building blocks and gave us substantial gifts to get that project off the ground. And so we're so excited that they'll get to be here to see Catio Town in person, see them out in their catios, And then also see the cats, but it's a thank you to them. I'm also working hard on the vet working group. The Wildcat Sanctuary is hosting and paying for to invite other sanctuary veterinarians here on site to create a working group so that they get to know each other. They can talk about difficult cases. They can really talk about sanctuary medicine as a discipline, just like shelter medicine is, since it's so different than zoo medicine. It's so different than dog and cat medicine. So we're really thankful that we're able to fund that and their, some of their travel expenses and things here. So we're hoping sanctuary veterinarians take us up on that and actually really sign up and come here in May. So we have a lot going on. Somebody's asking, how's the funding for the roof project going? I think we were able to meet that goal, and we're doing caretaking costs as well. So you guys have helped us miracle match. We have so many goals. We have now a goal a week through April 30th, and then you add Meera in there. And it's just so wonderful to see you guys donating us to meet those goals. So many people want to donate to these big, large-scale rescues, and I'll get to that in a minute. But you cannot keep sanctuaries like ours going without the upkeep and the maintenance. We need to do the roofs that are leaking. We need to do the roofs so that insurance covers us. We need to get the golf cart for Dash that you guys help us, and we'll be able to share some more information on that soon. You're allowing us to pay for caretakers, their salaries, their benefits. And then stay tuned. We have more projects coming up that we would love for you to help us fund. So we appreciate that. I will quickly show you because it's fun to see a cat. There's Lexi sleeping on the couch right there. It is strange to come in and actually have it pretty quiet with these guys. I see, if you look over this way, Rudy is laying on Kiara's dog bed, sleeping. And so we'll have more wellness exams. So Elizabeth the tiger is going to get a wellness exam. We don't know exactly her timing because we want to coordinate that with a move of her and Noah. Both Noah the tiger and Noah the cougar, as I talked about, need to move to habitats that accommodate their age as well as their mobility issues. So we're going to be moving cats around for that. And so we'll use those opportunities to do wellness exams as well. I know many people have asked us like who we have in our witness protection program and things like that again. And right now because there's so many active things going on, we are not saying who, when, and how many may be in our witness protection program. But I do want to talk about a few things because people have shared it. So you'll notice that a lot of sanctuaries probably won't share articles or things you see in the media, especially cases that have happened. So no matter what, if a sanctuary is involved in any type of case, we sign contracts and that sanctuaries can't share information. So even if the media shares information or sheriff's associations share information, sanctuaries are bound by that. And I just have to say that there are quite a few ongoing cases, and multiple sanctuaries are involved. Even if they're not involved in final placement, they are involved in a lot of the logistics going into it, making recommendations for placement. And that's why I'm so grateful for the Big Cat Sanctuary Alliance, and even past that, our extended network of sanctuaries and the Wildlife Confiscation Network. Because what that means is it takes a team to save animals. And some sanctuaries have to absorb those animals for the legal case or lifelong care. And that is so grateful. But usually in those big scale cases, multiple sanctuaries or groups are involved to make sure that the best decision is made for the animals, the best decision is made for the outcome of the case. And so that those cases we can't talk about, but what we can say is that we're very, very happy that on the front of multiple cases that are being worked on, that animals are finding homes safe at sanctuary. And so I know any sanctuary involved in any case, and I can tell you there's quite a few right now, is giving those animals the best possible home. And we're always grateful during any kind of legal cases, during any kind of pending cases, that when those animals can be in accredited sanctuaries, that's what we really are looking for, so that we know they're getting the quality of care, they're getting the medical care, and that we're not doing anything and they're not doing anything to impede the outcome of the case. So I also want to reach out to, because I know what's made national media on top of some of the legal cases is the domestic cat sanctuary on the East Coast in Long Island that burned down, and many domestic cats lost their lives, including the founder of that rescue. And our heart goes out to that case. I can't imagine how that founder felt when they came there and the place was on fire and they tried to save as many cats as they could, and he passed away. And I'm so grateful for all the rescue groups that are standing up, and I'm so grateful for all the people that are making donations to those rescue groups to help. The one thing I want to say and remind everybody is it is so motivating when there's huge tragedy for everybody to step up and give funding, and we're so thankful that they're doing that. But remember, it shouldn't take a tragedy for those that have the means to do something bigger than themselves. And that's why I'm so grateful for you, because you guys give when it's not an emergency. You guys give when we can create change, that we can build a facility that hope mitigates, fires, arson. We can never control, and this organization that lost all those cats can never control everything in the world. But I really wish too that if that person maybe had the funding that's coming in now, they could have gotten more help. They could have gotten more checks, and they were doing such great work for the animals. Just remember, it doesn't always take a tragedy. It shouldn't take a tragedy for people that can step up and help others, whether that's volunteering, whether that's donating, whether that's spreading the word and sharing things. So I appreciate everybody that supported that domestic cat sanctuary prior to the tragedy, and I'm thankful for everybody that's supporting it now. There's not much to say. It's tragic. And it just goes to show you, as I was saying last week, is so many people are going through hard times right now. So if each of us can do one good thing to help another, it means the world, because I know how much it's meant to me, and the staff says it's the same thing, how much it means to them that you've all reached out and cared, that we were going through some hard times with all the losses here. So it's, we're turning the corner, right? That's what I'm saying, is we're turning the corner. We have new rescues, we're saving lives. We have new projects for the spring and summer that we can't wait for you to be a part of. You've helped us with Miracle Match meet our goals, and we're hoping we can continue to meet those goals. This year, we know funding is going to be more of a challenge. Prices are up. Some people, people don't know what the future holds. Some people are losing their jobs. We also know we don't have Catio Town, a big capital campaign. The land purchase was last year. So many of you stepped up and extended yourselves last year that I know that it probably would be hard for you to give at that level again this year. And we want you to always take care of yourselves, your animals, your loved ones first. But definitely don't forget about us or the cats just because we don't have a big, huge campaign again, because the donations you give directly affects the cats' lives on a daily basis. And it is such a beautiful impact that you help us make. And so I'll do more updates soon. I know I saw some questions come through on updates on play dates. We have quite a few play dates in the works, including, like we said, some small cats in Catio Town. We have a few in Wildcat Pines we're trying. We have a few in Wild Woodlands. And some are turning out really well, and some have turned out, they don't want to live together. And so once we get all those settled in and figured out, we will do and share the news with all of you. But we try not to share all the news until we know it's a sure thing. We have a few cats that we know mergers go well right away, and then the first week. And I feel like they're strategic, and they're going to wait and then start poking the bear, or should I say other cat, a week in or 2 weeks in. And it's just been their pattern since they've lived here. And so we're kind of waiting some extended period of times to see what works and doesn't work. So we'll keep you posted on that. And I'm trying to think of anything else it's so much going on, but so much behind the scenes. There's several international cases I'm working on. Elise and I will be traveling out of country. We're waiting to hear on the dates to help. As you know, international cases take years. And so just because we're going out of the country doesn't mean on this trip we're bringing cats home, but we're setting the stage, we're checking on cats, we're working on setting up temporary areas, training people for those rescues that need to wait for their permits, but need some help right now. So we will keep you abreast on those as much as we can, but there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes, and just know we're committed to saving as many lives as possible always, even if they're not announcements we can share with you publicly, and even if our job is just to facilitate them getting to their final destination, their final sanctuary, which might not be TWS, but it does take a team, and thank God we're in an industry that loves to work together, and thank God we have all of you that allow us to save lives each and every day. So I will see you all next week, and have a great rest of your week.